Hi friends. So, do I really want to be filming right now? Not really, but I am. So, I have a lot going on. I feel like I'm like behind on everything right now, and I'm doing this instead. That's okay. The friend that I'm living with, her and her whole family, which is her husband and their 3 kids, so 5 people plus 3 dogs, are gone for the next couple days because it's their vacation week. What was I saying before I sneezed ferociously? Their vacation week, so they're not here. So I'm in the house alone with my daughter and Ello, the puppy, and it's a little chaotic, you know, like I haven't had to take care of the 3 of us alone yet since the breakup, so it's a lot. It's a little overwhelming. Very thankful for the fact that I have these people here that kind of take care of me, but wow, there's a lot going on. But I'm filming even though I feel like I should be doing laundry and folding my clothes or doing a Fiverr order or really anything other than this. So maybe this is actually procrastination. That would seem to make the most sense because like anxiety is making me freak out about the things I should be doing, so instead I'm doing this. What do you think? I think that seems realistic. Mentally, we're getting by. We're not like thriving. So if I seem not like super excitable right now, it's not my fault. Oh, also, my daughter's school got closed this week because one of the teacher's assistants had a positive COVID test, so they closed the whole school, which when you work remotely from home would seem like a fine thing. Like, oh, I'll just have her home with me. No, not easy, especially the week where you have no help. And like, yeah, this is gonna happen to me another point in life since like I'm alone now. Yay. But wow, do I not like it? Like no break. Like, and I have no reason to leave the house because like I work here, so I don't go anywhere. So like every morning I still make her hop in the car and drive to Donks with me. And then today we went for a walk with the dog and that was atrocious. Oh, and it's raining for the next like 3 days. So I can't like send her to play outside or anything. Or the dog. He's going stir crazy. So let's start this fun journey. I have makeup on my face from earlier today, and I'll take it off in a little bit, but we're going to talk about the Makeup Revolution X Friends Forever Flawless palette. It is the We Were on a Break palette, which has a cute little thing on top. Here's the palette in all of its glory. And I wanted to talk about how to use colorful palettes like this because I feel like most people look at this and they're like, what is my plan? And so I have a technique that I use because of something that Jay Kissa on YouTube and Instagram told me to do in a YouTube video, and that's how I like to look at these colorful palettes that would otherwise be like kind of intimidating. Now that's how I look at them, and it's awesome. I love it. So I wanted to kind of show you how I do it, or the way that I go about doing so. And so I want to talk about that quick before we jump into doing a full look. So for example, what she said to do is to take a section of 4 shadows in a quad. So you break up the palette. I'm using sticky notes. I feel like if I had like cut out a piece of paper with a quad and could like move it around the page, that would have been a lot easier and a lot more effective, but here I am. So you take a quad of 4. So here's 4, okay? Now, you can do that all throughout the palette. So now I can move these sticky notes and create a quad over here. Okay, now there's a quad. And you can do that throughout the entire palette. So then you're kind of limiting the shades to what is around it, and you don't have to be so scared. You can also do it, say, over here, and I'm going to use this 3rd sticky note that my daughter colored on today, which was the reason she dumped coffee all over my computers, and I'm praying they still work. And now this is a much more wearable quad in a palette that would otherwise be considered terrifying to some people. So that is what she was saying to do. So you take a quad of 4 shades all next to each other and you work there. And it goes through the whole palette. So see, I have one there, then I move it over and I have another one, and then I have another one, and another one, and another one. Like it gives you endless possibilities. And especially when you have a palette like this, because you have 4 shadows here, 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 and here. And you're just limiting yourself to those 4 shadows. Obviously, in an ideal world, there'd be a couple mattes, a couple shimmers. If they're all matte, fine. If they're all shimmer, that's also fine. Like if you're excited about the color combination, then great. Similarly, you can just kind of try to pair shadows that are similar in tone. Like if I wanted to do a blue look, I have 1, 2, 3 blue shades. If I want to do a green look, I have 1, 2, maybe 3 here, if I use that as a green look. If I want to do like a monochromatic orangey look, there's a few shades that are orange. We have some yellows. You also have some standard like neutral shades that you could dip into, and this one could also be considered relatively neutral in the realm of this palette. Same with this particular shade right here, you could make work. You have a neutral shimmer. Like it's not all color and unwearable. So I do think that it's an interesting palette in that sense. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do the 4 little quad, or the 4 shadows to make a quad. I'm going to do 1 on each eye, just so you can kind of get a better idea of what you can make out of a palette like this. I think I'm going to try to do a quad that is a little bit more neutral, and then a quad that is more colorful and maybe a little bit more out there. So I'm going to take this makeup off and we're going to start with the eyes. I'll do the face makeup later because like I can't really I don't know how much fallout's going to happen. So I'll be back. I just spent the last 10 minutes ferociously plucking my eyebrows because they were so bad. I shouldn't have even tried to film. That's how bad they looked. But beside the point, took the makeup off, put some lotion on. I am going to very quickly prime my eyelids. I want to give this palette a fair shot with the best things we got going on, especially with like color. I feel like it's important to give it some primer because colors can be more difficult to work with or to formulate, I think, like the more bright neon shades. So I'm going to start with this. So the 4 shades that we are going to start with is this little quadrant right here. So we have Secret Closet, Game of Cups, Closure, and Big Opening. I'm going to zoom in for you here. These 4 shadows right there. So we have a neutral shade, we have a pink with like a hair of shimmer in it, and then a bright blue, and then a gold shimmer. So I feel like that's a good place to start. I have my color switch. I feel like this is very important. So the reason that this like grouping of 4 thing really works is, or when it really works, is when you have no idea what to do. Like I have used colorful shadows and I've done eyeshadow looks enough where I can look at a palette like this and be like, okay, I'll mix blah, 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 and make it look. Some people look at palettes like this and they're like, I don't even know where to start. And that can be true for even more neutral palettes. Like, I'm just grabbing a random one. This Huda Beauty palette. You could look at this and have no idea what you're doing. And if you just make like a quad of 4, it's much easier to use. So if you're one of those people that you look at eyeshadow palettes and you're like, what is my plan? Then this is the technique for you. So I just color switched on this brush and I know it doesn't look clean, but I promise it is. I'm going to dip into a Game of Cups, which is right here. This neutral shade. Do this eye. This is technically my good eye. We're going to start with this one. So I'm just going to put this in the crease like a standard transition. Windshield wiper motion it around, do some circular motions to really make it blend better. All of the things. And then we're going to try to build it. See if we can build that color at all. There's a hair yellowy for my particular skin tone. but that is okay. Like this wouldn't be like a transition shade that I would use every day for an everyday look, but for the purposes of a colorful look, it is quite nice. It's interesting. It definitely gives off that like yellow orange undertone, which I don't dislike. I'm gonna take a clean blending brush, just assist it. A little bit of blending. I'm actually gonna take that shade and quickly put it under. Ooh. First, I'm gonna get all this black off. Quickly take that shade and go under. Just to kind of start that blending process. So now we're going to dip into Big Opening, which is this pink. We're going to put that on the outer corner and blend it into the crease, and then we're also going to bring it along the lower lash line. So we're going to use this fun pop of blue on the inner corner, just to make it a little bit exciting. And like realistically, this could be your entire eye look. You don't even have to add the gold, you don't have to add the blue. Like if you only want a simple look out of this palette, then like that's also achievable, which is nice to have a bright, crazy, colorful palette that can also do that. Delightful. Okay, I am going to take this itty bitty brush and dip it into Closure, which is this bright blue. And I'm going to pop that in my inner tear duct area. Good thing I have 3 batteries because I just had 2 dead batteries. The one that I'm using just died. So I picked up the other one and put it in, and it also was dead. Alright, I'm realizing that I maybe should have put concealer down first. I feel like this particular shade, this like blue, would have really benefited from an opaque base under. But that's okay, we live and we learn. So now I'm going to take Secret Closet, which is this gold glittery shade. I'm going to try to put it on my finger onto the lid. It's a lot brighter than I kind of anticipated. Kind of wish in my quad I had like a deeper tone to kind of blend it into, but we're just going to use this pink and blend it together a little bit here. There's a hair of gold glitter fallout, but the problem is that the pink also has gold glitter in it. So is it from the pink or is it from the gold glitter, you know? Like we're not sure. Just re-intensifying this blue inner corner, which I'll probably have to do again when I do concealer. And there's one eye look without mascara on. But I will very quickly put mascara on and you will see what it looks like. I'm going to touch this. Out of all the shimmer textures in this palette, this Secret Closet one is definitely more of like a glittery one, whereas the other shimmers look like true shimmers. You can just tell by texture. Let me see if I can get it to show you. So you see how like these two are shimmers and this is Secret Closet. So it just has that like, it's where these two are shimmers and this is Secret Closet. Like it has that like glittery texture to it. So it is a different texture than any of the other shimmers in this palette. And I'll make sure I keep a shimmer, a normal shimmer in my next look for you. Because there are some quads that are just straight mattes, which would be really nice, but we're going to test out the other shimmer. So I'm very quickly going to put mascara on this eye and then we'll start with the next eye. Alright, I'm back with mascara. For some reason my eyelashes, they're parting weird because they were already done earlier today. So we're just going to let them live their own life. My eyelashes don't normally do this weird like center part thing going on right in the middle here, but some of them still have mascara on them. Like they're just, it's not their fault that they're like this, okay? So the next quad I'm gonna use, and this is, I was planning on doing a different one, but that used one of the colors that I just, like this color, and I don't want to use that again because I feel like that's not as exciting. So I'm going to use this quad right here, which is the yellow shimmer, the purple, the green, and the orange. So as they go, we have Fireball, Big Break, Portia. And you don't say Porsche, because if you watch the show, you know that that's not how you say it. It's Portia. And then the purple is apartment naturally. So, do I have plans of where these colors are going on my eyes? Absolutely not. All I know is I can't mix the orange and the purple or it'll make brown. That's not the goal here. We're trying to not make brown. So I think I do have a plan like in my head. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Is it gonna work? We will see. It's anyone's guess. It's a bargain at this point, like a guessing game, but we're gonna try it. So I'm gonna start with the green. I have this plan in my head, you know? This one, we're gonna really give her the old somewhat clean. We're gonna dip into Big Break, which is the neon green. Whoa, she's powdery. I wonder if you can see that on camera. It's a mess. Okay. We are going to start like this. In the crease, just in the crease, and down here, everywhere. Just everywhere. Okay. Clean brush. Disregard my voice. We are doing our best, doing our best, doing our best. We are simply doing our best, and that's all that we can ask. That was a delightful tune. All I'm gonna say. It truly was. Okay, I'm actually going to take another brush. Like I've talked about these all the time and I have no good description, but it's like flatter here, thinner there, you know. The ones that I always use on the outer corner. We're just gonna use it on the outer corner. I really hope you can see all of this. It's a lot. Okay, I got the green on. I'm gonna dip into Portia with my ring finger. Same ring finger. She feels nice. Ooh, she bright. Ooh, she bright. This is what I'm hoping for. So we're gonna put it all over our lid and actually up here. We're just gonna put this everywhere. Like it's going literally everywhere. So the hope in my head is that this upper lid area is gonna be like half neon green, half yellow shimmer. I'm gonna add a purple wing on the outside and then orange on the lower lash line. That is my plan. I know I didn't say that. I think it's because I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, so I was like holding my breath to explain my goals, just in case the plan went haywire, but seems like we're doing okay. So now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna help it. I do wanna bring this green up a bit higher. The green is much more neon in the pan than it is in real life, like when it goes on the eye. Just a heads up, if you're wondering. If you think this is like the neon green of your dreams, I don't think it is. It's also a little powdery. By a little, I mean a lot. Like when it goes on my eye, it's almost like a, almost pukey, but that could be because I'm mixing it with yellow. It's like honest personal mistake. It's not even a mistake. I don't care if it's yellow or pukey colored. That's kind of the vibe, you know? I mean, no, but like a little bit. I'm actually taking washi tape, which is like a little weird, but that's only because I don't know where my tape is. All right, do a little bit of green follow under here. I'm taking my washi tape and I'm going to create a straight line here. We're going to take apartment. Okay, I know purples are hard. Maybe that's, no. We're gonna do it. Purples are hard to formulate according to the humans on the internet. So we're gonna try to make this a wing. Great, I'm gonna peel this off now. Yeah, she purple. Look at that, that's fun. Okay, now we just gotta add the orange to the lower. Then we will be good to go. Where's the brush I want? Here's the brush I want. I'm gonna dip that into Fireball. That's not what they're doing. That's what I thought of. This itty bitty like blending brush, we're just gonna put this on the lower lash line. I must say all of these shadows are very powdery, besides the shimmers. Great, this is fun. I am going to take another brush though, and like a flat defining brush with Fireball. I'm gonna go up close to my lash line and just intensify super up close. Okay, I'm going to pop on mascara. I'm also going to do the rest of my face. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about, let me get up close just for a minute. I'm gonna talk about our colorful eyeshadow looks and this palette. Here's this one. The purple. Here's the more subtle one. Yes, I did get mascara on my lids. Would you look at that? Every time. Okay. Pure beat. We back, and I didn't set my face because truth be told, I always do, and then I take my makeup off immediately after, which is what I'm gonna do right now when I'm done taking pictures of myself. Do we like the ponytail thing? I can't tell. And also I know that it's a mess back there. I didn't clean up behind me today, okay? I slacked. I get it. We all get it. Okay. So we have our colorful quad, we have our relatively neutral quad, which would be very neutral if we didn't have the blue inner corner, which I do want to touch up just a hair. I feel like when I put my concealer on, wow, that hurt. I did get some of it away, which we don't want. Much better. Okay, so Makeup Revolution, Friends, Forever Flawless, we were on a break. This eyeshadow palette, I do think that it's nice. I think the color payoff for being a bright palette based off of the shades that I used, which obviously is not all of them, as we are all aware. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of what, 18? Yeah, out of 18 shades. I used 8. I think the brights were, they were pretty decent. The purple, surprisingly phenomenal. The orange is pretty good. The blue, the Closure, bright blue shade, when I layered it, it did do a good job. The green wasn't my favorite, just because it didn't really give me the neon color that you see in the pan. That's bright, and you definitely don't see that anywhere on my eye. It just didn't quite translate. I'd be interested to see how this yellow works, because I know yellows are really hard. But I'm pleasantly surprised, especially by that purple. That purple is stunning. And it came off really well, especially on top of already put down green and gold. It did come off really well. I prefer the texture of the yellow Portia shimmer, or what the rest of the shimmers in this palette are, than the Secret Closet. I think that's just personal preference though. I'm not much of a glitter person. Also, if I put down a glitter primer, it would probably be even more punchy, but I just didn't do that. But I did put a primer down. So that's a step in the right direction for me, because it's not standard. But all in all, I think the palette is nice. The colors are really interesting, and that's why I bought this one in particular, because the Friends collection does have other palettes that are more neutral, but for me, that's just not something I need more of. And so to have a palette with this kind of color story, look at how well that one shines. To have a palette with this kind of color story is really interesting, because I don't have any palette that is similar at all. And so that is the appeal to me, to get a palette like this. I almost just dropped it. The thing that is important about palettes like this though is to understand how to use them. And like I said, to do your quadrants, so if you did these 4, that's a look right there. I use these 4, that's a look. These 4 are a look. These 4. And just breaking it down in that way can really give you more options that you wouldn't typically find, because I completely understand when some people look at this palette and they're like, what do I do? And that makes perfect sense, because I feel like a couple months ago even, I would have looked at this palette and been like, what is my plan? And when palettes are not organized in a way that makes sense to you, like the LFX J Kissa collection, who J Kiss is the one who came up with this delightful way to get, quads out of palettes like this. But The e.l.f. XJ Kissa collection was perfect because it was all red. So it was like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and it was perfect because you knew exactly what you were looking at and it was in order. So like the organization made a lot of sense. Here, it is raining. Okay. Here, you're not really sure what you're really getting yourself into. There's a lot of colors. They're kind of thrown all over the place. Even if you look at it, I'm trying to not blind you with the mirror. Even if you look at it straight on, like how it's oriented when you're reading it, it still doesn't really make like 100% sense. And some of the organization just doesn't really give you color combos that you might think you can do. Like if you put all the blues near each other, that would make more sense to your brain than to seeing orange and blue and pink and purple and then bright green and like this random pink, but then there's a pink down here and there's a yellow, but then there's another one. Like, I feel like it's hard to determine what you can do with a palette like this, but when you break it down into areas of 4 shades, it's much easier to do. So you have a look right there, which would be like a really pretty all matte look, or like this more neutral look that I did right here, or you have a really bright fun look like I did, which I could have gone in like 10 different directions with this quad, and I decided to go with green and yellow with a purple wing and orange lower lash line. Like, not everyone's gonna think that when they look at this quad. This quad, people might not have done what I did. They might have gone with the blue on the lower lash line as a pop of color. They might have gone with the blue all over the lid and put like orange and pink on the bottom with the glitter in the inner corner. There's a bunch of options, even within those 4 shades. But it just helps you to limit what you need to look at. Like these 4. I almost did as a color palette. I also almost did these 4 as a color palette because this is one shimmer and then you have a couple mattes, some yellows. It'd be interesting. Like those are all options. So there's a quad. Here's a quad, which could be really intriguing with the bright pink and the glitter and then 2 different blues to give you like a bright and a deeper tone. There's options. And that's what's really cool about colorful palettes is that you can look at the same 4 colors that I looked at and come up with something completely different. And I feel like that is something that you don't quite get with a neutral palette because you're looking at 4 mattes, and given their range of tones, 9 times out of 10 people are going to put them in similar places. Like your transition shade, your outer corner, and your pop of color, or your brighter shade for the inner corner. Like those things are going to happen if you're looking at a neutral palette. And I am not bashing neutral palettes. I think neutral palettes are the gift to the earth because they are gorgeous, stunning, and perfect. But with color, I feel like there's just so many options and there's just so much fun you can have with it. And if you're a makeup lover and you enjoy color, I think you'd really like this because some of the colors in here I don't have in any other palette I own, and that's really interesting to me. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to try more shades. I'm excited to play with it some more. I'll probably continue just because there are some color palettes that I'm interested in, but the more I look at the quads in here, I'm really excited about them. So I probably will continue to do stuff like that. But all in all, I'm pretty pumped. I think there's 2 really good monochromatic looks I could do too, like the oranges and the blues. Orange is one, blue is another. I feel like that could also be really cool. Or the pinks. The pinks could be another really nice monochromatic. I don't know. I probably will do more looks with this just because I'm excited by this palette and it does bring me joy because it is Friends related and I love me some Friends. As for Makeup Monday, I couldn't do it this week because the school was closed like I mentioned, but I do plan on doing a fun pastel look. This is what I was going to do this week, but I couldn't when my daughter was home with me. But I do plan on doing a fun pastel look using this palette on a Makeup Monday next week. So if you do not follow me on Instagram, it is at CaitlinJolene_makeup. I do Makeup Monday tutorials. Typically they're Instagram or IGTV, but if they get blocked for some reason, because the music playing gets them blocked, then they end up on my stories. So depends what you get. Sometimes you get to see them forever and sometimes you get them for 24 hours. So it kind of just depends what Instagram feels like doing with the copyright, which like I get, but also let a girl live, you know? Anyways, so that'll be on the next Makeup Monday is the other palette that I got in that little haul of Friends collection makeup. I also have a TikTok at CaitlinJolene_makeup. I need to post on there, I know, and I will get to it. When I was filming every day, and you know what? I actually know for a fact that I have like 2 videos in my phone that I still have that I specifically filmed for TikTok and could very easily edit and put on there, but beside the point. I really enjoyed filming those TikToks because they were different for me. They were like lo-fi, detailed shots, like not a lot of editing of my skin or anything. Like it was very real how my skin looked, and I liked that. I ran out of content pretty fast because like I would try to do skin or like a base in one video and then the next day do eyes, so that way I didn't like kill myself having to film every day. But my base routine is pretty standard and kind of the same thing every week, but not the point. It was fun. It just is really time consuming to film yourself every single morning, even if you get ready every morning. Like to come up with something different just so you can post it is hard. I need to come up with other ways to maybe get like multiple videos out of one look, rather than the way I was doing. I'm getting like 2. Anyways, beside the point. Follow me on TikTok. I'll figure out how to get myself back on there. Also, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like and comment on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. I personally think that this was fun. I did film a video on Saturday, which I think I'm going to put this one up first just because it is more relevant time-wise because of the palette. But the Saturday video that I recorded was me getting ready for a dinner with my friend and just like talking to myself and like what I was feeling, how I was feeling, how I was doing. So just little like mental health checkup while recording, which was nice for me personally. So that'll probably be up next week or something. Yeah. So that is all. I'm gonna go. It is 10:06. I need to take makeup off. I need to put my dog in the crate. I need to like go to bed so I can be a productive human tomorrow and not be exhausted, which is really hard for me to get out of bed lately. Also, I have clothes in the dryer. I need to switch over. So I gotta go. Here I come. Oh no. And I have to take pictures of myself? Ugh. Ugh. I gotta get that off. I mean, I can edit it out. Maybe I'll just do that because, like, why would I want to take more time right now? It's 10. And I haven't done anything productive yet. I did my lips pretty well. I'm excited about them. Okay, anyways, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment the word Porsche. And if you know what I mean, you know that that's not how it's spelling it, Porsche. It's Porsche, but it's Porsche. If you watch Friends, you know. Anyways, I gotta go.